I'm Nicole Hyman. At HTC, we're connecting for you. Welcome to another edition of Connecting for You, a show where we explore some of the many happenings in our area. So sit back and relax and enjoy an in-depth look at one of our many community events.
Today we are out along the Riverwalk here in Conway, along the beautiful Waccamaw River, and being Earth Day, we thought it really important to recognize the science going on in this area. Science and knowledge is power, and we are all about empowering this community to protect their natural resources. So today we have many of our partners that work on water quality protection set up along the boardwalk, and we just want to expose the community to the science that's going on in this region. We have outfitters, so kayakers, that are getting the community out on the water. We have DNR here talking about their work, the Department of Natural Resources, about their work on the rivers. We have DHEC talking about some of the work they do for water quality protection. We have the Friends of Coastal South Carolina. They are the Friends group to the refuges around here, and they are talking about some of the research they support and the education programs they do.
The Waccamaw River is a very unique river, and we're super excited to be sampling in the downstream area of the Waccamaw River where it empties out into Winyah Bay. About 80% of microplastic marine debris comes from on-land sources, so we're tackling that from the source of where these microplastics are coming from. So microplastics are plastic debris that are really tiny, smaller than 5 millimeters in size, and they source from either macroplastic debris, so breakdown of plastic bottles and in the ocean, or they are sourced from manufactured products. We collect these microplastic samples. We use a plankton net. Average size plankton nets for these studies are about 333 micrometers. I'm actually using a 10 micrometer net so we can catch all of these little tiny micro beads that source from our personal care products. After we filter it through the net, we take that sample back into the lab and filter it through vacuum filtration and put it onto a little tiny filter about this big and catch all the plastic debris that way, put it underneath our microscope, and then start to look for any fibers, threads, pellets, or just fragments that we might see of these microplastics. So there are plenty of ways that you can help. Check your personal care products. On the back side, if you see the word polyethylene, that will have plastics in it. Check out beatthemicrobead.org, and you can check your personal care products there.
So last fall, we were hit for a second time by a hurricane, fairly normal for this area, but we had record-breaking flooding, especially here in the city of Conway and along the Waccamaw River and our neighboring rivers. Along with the flooding, there's a lot of damage to property. The community struggled through this flood, but it also is a huge stress on the river. A lot of the trash from the land ends up in the river. It's washed down into the river system. So throughout the winter, and especially over the past 2 weeks, we have been working to clean up the rivers. There have been boats in the river that have been pulled out. There have been the list of trash is unbelievable, but so the focus of the past 2 weeks, our Clean Up Our Local Waterways initiative has been to pull out tons and tons of trash with hundreds of volunteers just to try and make a dent in what was left from Hurricane Matthew. Our organization is would not exist without our volunteers. As I mentioned, we had hundreds of volunteers working over the past 2 weeks cleaning up, and we have volunteers that work monitoring water quality. So the community is devoting so much time to this river, to cleaning it up, to protecting it. And so today, on Earth Day, we want to celebrate what this community, what our volunteers are doing, and what everyone working on these rivers is doing. So this really is a celebration on Earth Day for the work going on in our natural resources. This event would not be complete without folks on the water. So we have Black River Outdoors, which is a local kayak outfitter, and they've brought their kayaks. People have come with their boats and their personal kayaks, and at noon today we are going to attempt a great photo where we have people lined up across the river showing their presence on the Waccamaw and their energy and excitement and celebration of the work on the Waccamaw.
3, 4.